Mention the word shark and almost everybody shudders in horror and imagines being eaten alive by some primeval beast with big teeth. The truth, of course, is that people are genuinely frightened by things they don't understand. And let's face it, the poor old shark gets a pretty bad press on the whole. To add insult to injury, man kills around 100 million sharks every year. Instead, we should be grateful, even celebrating the fact that these magnificent creatures are still roaming our seas after hundreds of millions of years at the top of the food chain.
Hi, I'm Charles Hood and I make a living by taking pictures underwater.
My name is Anna Abernathy and I run a dive operation in Palm Beach and in the Bahamas, and I have the privilege of introducing people to sharks.
Hi, I'm Douglas David Seifert, Mad Keen shark photographer.
Hi, I'm Sean Pullen, head of the marine program for WWF.
I'm Jim Abernathy, a shark dive operator in Florida and the Bahamas.
My name's Charles Maxwell. I'm an underwater cameraman from Cape Town, South Africa.
Hi, I'm John Boyle and I think I've got the best job in the world. I'm an underwater filmmaker.
Love them or hate them then, we can't help being fascinated by these amazing creatures. So for our number 10 spot, we meet a family of sharks probably best known for their extreme dental work, the Raggies, the sand tigers, and the humble nurse shark.
The ragged-toothed sharks, or sand tiger sharks, or gray nurse sharks, are really interesting because they're one of the most primitive forms of sharks.
First impression is going underwater is they're just awesome. You know, the fear factor of those teeth sticking out from the mouth.
Ragged-toothed sharks arrive on our east coast from the cooler water of the Cape at the beginning of winter, and they stay there to pup and mate.
With its mouth full of teeth hanging out, it's obvious they have teeth.
It looks like some of the people I've represented in the past.
The sand tiger and the nurse sharks are one of the more docile sharks that you'll run into. The sand tiger specifically, the business end of the sand tiger looks horrific.
They also look like shark. They've got that sort of body that looks like a shark. They've got that sort of mean-looking face, the big, jagged teeth.
They look terrible, their teeth are all over the place, but they're actually a shark that's very docile. They actually go to the surface and gulp air so they can maintain their buoyancy, since sharks don't have swim bladders. They're also the shark that has pups that are born, and the first pup born eats its siblings. They exhibit a phenomenon called interuterine cannibalism. So that's great from a scientific point of view. But to dive with them, it's really exciting because they're very large and they're sort of slow moving, but they look very frightening because of this dentition that's in your face.
They go into caves and they almost go into a stage of hibernation because they, unlike the big ocean-going sharks, can lie in one spot and pump water through their gills so they don't have to keep moving.
They're very vulnerable to people and the impacts that people can have because they're largely found in coastal waters, quite shallow waters, and inadvertently and deliberately they're targeted by fisheries.
Once you spend a little time with this animal, you realize that it's a very docile, slow-swimming, beautiful shark.
The best is to work with ragged-toothed sharks at night because they're much more aggressive and much more active. We've done some night dives with ragged-toothed sharks, having to feed them for television documentaries, and we got some amazing results. But one time, a shark, I think it was probably dazzled by my video lights, turned around and bit my daughter. It wasn't a bad bite, it was just a couple of holes in her arm. Fortunately, it wasn't bad, it needed a couple of stitches, but certainly was a wake-up call.
My best experience would be nurse sharks because we have them here in abundance. and in the Bahamas, where we dive a lot, where I dive a lot. And they are, to me, the puppy dogs of sharks.
Nurse shark, yeah, they are docile. The great thing about them is you can get real close to them. They tend to lie on the bottom. And there again, you don't really pose a threat to them because they are particularly big.
For me, it was the first time I saw a large shark, was a nurse shark, and it really made my heart stop just for a moment until I realized what it was and that it really wasn't a threat.
They don't have teeth in the way that most sharks do. Nurse sharks, it's not that obvious. They look gummy. However, when they latch onto something, there's no letting go. I mean, you can't pry them off you. So a lot of people, in most incidences with nurse sharks, people tend to pull them out. They think it's cooler to hold on to them and swim around with them. But then the nurse sharks are very agile and they can swing completely around. They're friendly. They're just very, very friendly sharks, I think.